Well, good evening, one and all. Welcome along once again to the weekly dust up that is the Studio Rats Q&A live.
Put the cheers in. Weekly dust up. Weekly dust up.
Well, I thought it was a bit more interesting than what I normally spout out.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, good evening, everyone. Great to see so many in the house already, which is lovely. LCJ, we will get to your question. Don't panic. He or she was a bit ahead of the 8 o'clock watershed, so we'll get to that. Evening, John. Evening, Safi. Evening, John. Two Johns.
Two Johns.
It's all good.
We got.
So,
go on. You go first. Then go on.
You go first. Go on.
Well, I just want to say so. No. I'll do my thank you in a minute. So go on. Just go on. You do what you got to do. It's all good.
Okay. So, first of all. Paul and I were chatting this afternoon. We actually do research this, this whole Q&A live thing, only a little bit. And we both kind of realized that it's been yet again another month has gone past with no sign of the neural DSP quad cortex. And also, from my point of view, no sign of any contact or reach out or any kind of attempt to protect their investment by Guitar to me. So I thought I'd call them.
What'd they say?
Well, other than to be fair, at this point, I'm not one for shooting the messenger. The poor, I don't know whether it's poor or not. The person I got through to is clearly not the person you need to really be complaining to. They don't have any control over messaging or sort of service level agreements or any of that stuff. And when I started saying, I'm not strictly speaking sure you're allowed to keep my money for this long without actually having a date for delivery, he kind of backed away and was like, well, yeah, you're a bit above my pay grade, which I absolutely agree with. However, he was telling me that the reason it's late is nothing to do with there being bugs or issues. It's because they're putting more features in it. and I said to him, that's a really diplomatic way of saying they're bug fixing. And he went, no. He said, they're coming from Finland. I went, no, they're not. They're made in China.
I'm not sure about that, but okay. I'm not sure they are made in China.
Okay, well, if they're not, great. But if they're coming from Finland and they're in a container, they'll be here by about Friday night. Finland ain't that far on a container.
Yeah.
We're not talking 6 weeks to get a container from China.
No.
To the UK. So I felt like I was a little bit BS'd there.
What's happened. They found the bugs. And before they release, I don't understand why, because I've tried it. It works. Yes. There are a couple of things that I found that weren't working properly, but that's not a big issue. That you normally get that with the release, and then they just do a firmware update. It's all fine.
Yeah, software or firmware updates.
Yeah.
The thing that has annoyed me is absolute lack of communication.
If
your guitar. So he actually told me the numbers. Now, again, you can take or leave this. They've got an initial order of 300 coming in, all of which are sold on pre-order. So what you can do the math, if you like, that's 300 times 150 that they've got in deposit money.
Yeah, it isn't just deposit. Some people are paid up front. You've got the opportunity to pay up front.
If you did, you've got more money, more expendable cash than I've got lying around. But potentially, they've got some serious dough held up, waiting on a never, which is getting quite annoying. It's not about the money at this stage; it's about the lack of communication. Now,
terrible.
Neural haven't been any better, to be fair. And I appreciate this is primarily a guitar tech show, but when someone like Stephen Slate, for example, makes a mistake, he holds his hand up and says, I'm really sorry. We were doing our very best to get this as good as we possibly can into your hands. We took the time to get it right. Now, if someone from Neural came on, put a video up on YowTube and said, "We're really sorry. We know we're late. We're getting it as good as we possibly can," we'd all be going, "Okay, that's fine." We'd all take a step back because you go, your money's safe, and you're thinking, it's going to be a good product. But absolute radio silence is. Well, I won't use I didn't swear. I wasn't. I was very. I was frustrated. Put it like that. I was Captain Frustrated, and I was the angry man that nobody wanted to take the phone call off by the end of the phone call, I suspect.
Well, it isn't good enough from a company like Guitar, who are normally a good company and a company that I like to deal with. It's really putting me off, dealing with them again in the future.
I was not impressed.
No,
I was not impressed. Don't like being fobbed off. I'd even accept, "I'm really sorry," but we're in the same boat as well. But I didn't get any of that.
Vote with your feet. That's what you got to do.
Or your wallet.
Or same thing, isn't it? I guess. Anyway, let's say hello to. We've said hello to everyone up to John Green. Hi, David. David's listening while heading down the A1. Don't tell the Rozzers.
The Rozzers.
Bruce is hi from New York. Hi, Bruce. Stephen's in Brisbane. Morning.
He once again, he does get the award for being the furthest away.
Was that? Yeah, he does definitely. Yeah.
Award for being furthest away.
I don't think you can get further away than that from us, can you?
Brisbane's on. Hang on, which side's Brisbane? Yeah, I think possibly Wellington, New Zealand is 12 hours different. I think,
okay.
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
But my geography's not all that great.
Right. Okay. Right. Let's do what we did this week. What we've done this week, and then we'll move on to some questions and stuff.
Get into questions and stuff. Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Well, I've got to say thank you to John Green, who's listening, for these cables. These monstrous. Look at these proper great cables. And funny enough, and I don't know if it's, and I said this to John today, I don't know if it is a placebo effect, but I plugged a bass into the front of the Apollo. It's in that, and I'm sure there was more clarity.
It's all to do with capacitance of cable, isn't it?
Yeah. So thanks, John. Thanks for them. They are absolutely lovely and really nicely made and stuff. And I wish I could solder half of what you can do, because my soldering is shocking. I'm really bad at that, and I need to get better at that.
I actually really like soldering. It's one of those. It's one of those skills where I can sit there and solder for hours. I have done. I mean, oh God, you've only got to look around. I've soldered for hundreds of hours, it feels like, and I've got a whole load more coming, which is great.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do is, like, my son Harrison's got I bought him a guitar ages ago, just like it's actually just a parts telecaster thing.
Yeah.
And and so what I want to do a video series of modding that guitar.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to get some different pickups for it, and because the neck, I think the neck's a Squire neck that's just had the Squire taken off of it, and the frets down, the fret edges are quite sharp and stuff, and I just want to get it so it's nice. I thought it'd be quite a nice little project. It's got and the humbucker, it's got a humbucker and a single coil in it at the moment. It's not like a traditional sort of telly.
Yeah,
and humbucker is so high output. It's just like. I mean, he doesn't care. He didn't care. I mean, when he picks it up, which is like never. So, yeah, I'm gonna put something nice in. See if you can make a cheap guitar sound good.
Yeah, I think you'll find you probably can.
Yeah,
which is scary. I think you'll find.
It'd be nice to be sponsored to do the videos, though, wouldn't it? As opposed to having to buy pickups and stuff.
Well, there's an interesting thing going around this week. A load of the guitar. I would share the link, but I don't want to get them more cred than they've got. There's a link going around on YouTube. Let me see if I can find it. About guys who do what we do, kind of YouTube testing and reviews and stuff. Yeah. Not declaring when they're one paid to do the video or two getting the gear to do the video.
I said, I have something to talk about this week. Earlier on, that was it, and I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I forgot. You've reminded me. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, I've got an itch.
I watched that video. To be honest, I didn't watch all 25 minutes because I have to work, but I kind of get it. I get the point. I totally get it. But at the same time, I think I can be fair. I mean, certainly at the moment, my what's the word? Not credibility. My integrity is being tested.
Yeah.
Number of companies I'm working with, and they get it. I know I can be objective and fair on a review or on whether it's a review or whether it's a paid promotional video. They are a different thing. We all know that. Primarily what we do on the Studio Rats channel is review type stuff. The Marshalls, you didn't, you had the ones we've ordered, we've had to pay for.
Yeah.
They sent them to us, but it wasn't here, have some amps and say nice things about them. It was we've had to buy them.
Yeah.
Now, again, I've been in situations where we've been told to declare whether a product was being reviewed by a partner, someone who pays for advertising, because there is always that scare that you're going to be nice to partner stuff. Well, I'm sorry. My line, and I know yours is similar to this, Paul, is if the product is brilliant and faultless, it probably doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a perfect product. What there is products that are brilliant, but you would probably tailor to your own personal wishes and wants and requirements. There are things not every company's going to hit a home run. If the product is so bad to be either unplayable or it's just doesn't sound good or it looks rubbish, it won't get reviewed because, quite frankly, it probably isn't ready.
Yeah, and it's worse on us if we do.
Yeah.
If
the neural had been so bad as to be unplayable,
it's great.
Nobody would have reviewed it.
Absolutely. No, it's great. When I say that there's, if there was something that I thought could be could be improved, there's, I've got a million things that I could go through and say, well, that could actually be, that needs fixing, and most companies fix it. It doesn't deter from the fact that it's a great product and it sounds great and it's.
I'm picking on the neural now because
anyway, we weren't.
It's the thing we haven't got.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I thought it was an interesting video. I don't think they're going to change the world. I don't think we're trying to change the world. I think we're trying to make it a little bit better, one guitar string at a time.
Right.
Did you like my hook as well for tonight's show?
Hook?
I said, we're going to take questions on life, the universe, and everything. Did you get it?
No.
This is show 42.
Still no.
42, according to Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
I see. Right. Okay. Great. Okay. Should we do some? Questions. John Partridge says.
No.
LCJ. Sorry.
Stop.
LCJ. Quick one before we start. Do you mind me asking how you soundproof your home studio? I'm guessing they're a home studio. I'm guessing they are. I think he means. I'm guessing they are home studios.
Yes. So, do you want to go first, or shall I?
Well, first of all, we should both say that our studios aren't in our homes; they're in our gardens.
We have shedios.
Yes.
Second thing, LCJ, we need to confirm is the difference between soundproofing and acoustic treatment. They are very different in many cases. Soundproofing is relatively easy. Sound treatment and acoustic treatment is a much more scientific art. So I think it's fair to say that I've probably gone more down the soundproofing route, but I do have elements of acoustic treatment in here. Like I have a cloud up there that you can't see. Actually, you probably can. If I do that, I've got acoustics in the ceiling. There's stuff behind the speakers. The walls are tapered in my studio. Slightly, it's not that bad. It's about that much. So no standing waves. The ceiling has got a kind of an early reflective. What's the word?
Doofler.
Well, it kind of does that slowly across down to the front of the console. as to stop any standing waves bouncing up and hitting me straight in the face. They go straight over my head. The walls are also yay thick in many places, and that's about 8-9 inches. Don't tell my wife that's 8 or 9 inches, because the drum room obviously is significantly more soundproofed, and it's all to do with mass and variation in mass. So, for example, the walls around the drum room are the outside of the cabin, which is like, I think it's 18 mil logs, then an air gap of 20 mil, then rock wall,
the high density
rock wall stuff. That is, I think that's 70 mil. Then a layer of 12 mil plasterboard or drywall, depending on where you're from. Then I've got this thing called, I think it's called sheet block, Oralex Do It. It's basically like a lino that's lead impregnated. And it is horrifically heavy. When it showed up on a pallet, it was this thick on the pallet, and I had to get a pump truck just to get it off the truck and into where we were building the shed. It is horrendously heavy, this stuff, but mass is good. Change and variation of mass. That lino stuff is held in place by this stuff called green glue, which never ever dries. So it's always got a slight stickiness to it. It's like very, very thick snot.
Nasty.
It is very nasty, and it goes everywhere. And that's what's in the drum room. It's all to do with mass. So the more variation, there is a point of limiting returns, but anything, if you're trying to stop a drum kit, which is what obviously I'm trying to do, you're looking at about needing between 8 to 10 inches of mass variation to stop it.
Yeah, nice one. I haven't actually got any soundproofing in my studio, apart from when it was built. I moved into the house and the studio was already there, so I don't know how it's built, but it's quite soundproofed. But I'm not so worried because I'm not recording drums. If I was recording drums, then
it's a different.
It's a different thing. But I can play my monitors loud and don't disturb anybody. But it'd be different, if it was joined onto another building. If you were doing it inside your house and you're in a semi or something like that, then that's very different. I used to know Jim. Jack, engineer Jack, Baldy Jack. Hove lives in Hove. Oh God, Ruston.
Oh, Jack Ruston. Yes.
Yeah. Jack lives in this lovely Edwardian semi down in Brighton, and his studio is in his front room. It's a big old room. Have you been there?
I have. Yes, lovely.
Yeah. And he doesn't get any problems. But again, he's not recording drums. He's just mixing. Yeah,
I mean, he's got a pair of those Amphiums with the subs, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
The sound is really good in there, actually. Considering it is a glorified living room, it sounds really good in there.
Yeah, but he's got the tubes, hasn't he? He's got the tube track. Jack knows what he's doing. He's a very talented guy. Yeah. Right, where do we get to?
So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, hopefully that helps. Yeah. Let us know if you need any more help. John Partridge says, "What's your favourite chorus pedal?" John's is an Analog Man chorus. Nice. What's yours, James?
The TC one, the really, really old one, the one that's actually mains powered, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the TC. It's the Eric Johnson one, basically. It's just gorgeous.
Right.
Yeah, Bruce from ADG's got one. I keep trying to buy it off him, and he won't let me. But I've played through it a couple of times and gone, that sounds so good.
Nice.
Good. I haven't got much in the way of modulation on my board. The only thing I've got is the John Petrucci TC Dreamscape pedal, which has got a chorus in it, and it's got vibrato and flange in it. Okay. So it's kind of a useful multi-modulation tool.
Who makes that?
TC Electronic.
Oh, right. Nice one.
Very cool.
I don't use chorus at all. So I would have to say any delay pedal that's got modulation on it. That's the only chorus that I ever use because I prefer it that way. And
the flashback's good for that as well, because you can use the 2290 setting really really, really short delay, because obviously a chorus is a delay line effect. So
Yeah.
if you can get the delay short enough, you can get chorus or flange out of a delay pedal.
Yeah. I mean, I really like analog delays with sort of natural modulations. That I just think that for me that is chorus.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, nice. I'd like to try that Analog Man one. Where are we? Okay, go down. Okay, Mike. Mikel.
Yes.
Mikel. Oh, yes. Says, Paul, can you suggest him an amp? And James, actually, can you suggest an amp head that can be modern take of a Fenderish pedal platform? Ooh.
Oh, I'd have to go somewhere down the Rev route, the Rev D20.
Rev D20 is great.
Great amp.
It's a great amp, and it's a really good pedal platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
they're a couple of quid.
Yeah, and I'm guessing he's going to be using it in his studio, so perfect.
Yeah,
great for that. And you could get I really think you could gig it. I think it's loud enough to gig.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to the PA, which most people would do, because you don't want the guitar amp on stage so blistering that it's going to cut it through the main.
Yeah.
Mix. So, yeah.
Good. Right, where are we?
John Green saying nice things about you saying nice things. There you go.
Yeah, I might ask John. I've got a question for John in a minute.
I'll post the link as well, because if anybody wants to join us, it's open
do that.
house, as you all know. So feel free to join us. I've posted the link and come on the show and chat with us in real life.
Mike also says, what do you think about the new features of Studio One 5.2? Do you know what? I haven't even checked that out yet. I so should have done before tonight's show. Do you know what they are, James?
No idea at all. I don't.
Let us know. Let us know what they are.
I haven't opened it up for years.
Right.
If I'm honest.
Matt Griffin says, speaking of guitars for kids, I got a Squire. He just got a Squire Mini for his 8-year-old. I've never done a setup before, and it really needs it. Any recommendations on kit for me to buy? Preferably a package, perhaps. Yep, I have actually.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Paul's going to show you the contents of his drawers.
I've got so many of them.
What's that? What is it?
They're called cruise tools.
Right.
And I think you can order them. And I don't know if they give them away with custom shops, but I think you can order it when you order a custom shop, you can get it. And I think you can order them separately. And it's basically everything you need for a Fender setup.
Yep. Nice.
Got, the right size Allen keys, and it's even got, what do you call these things? Space. I don't know what they're called.
I would call them feeler gauges, because that's
something like
that's on a car.
That's the word. Yeah. I used to use them for spark plugs.
For tappet heights, and spark plugs,
yeah.
Spark gap.
Over the days.
That was when you could work on your own car. When you actually could do something.
Yeah. But that's pretty good. I mean, if you've never done a setup before, it's really tough. I don't know. It really depends on how bad it is. I would almost consider taking it into someone.
Yeah, you might, depending on how much the guitar was, you might spend nearly as much though on getting it set up, which is going to hurt. But if the thing I always say with student instruments, we're a little off topic, I know, but when someone says to me, "What drum kit should I buy my child who wants to play drums?" the first thing I say is, do not go to the local music shop and spend £299 on a drum kit, because the minute you get that out of the music shop, it is worth about 5.5 pence. Because it will be, and I have absolutely no problem in saying this, it will be shit. Whereas 299 quid on eBay will get you a Pearl Export. which is a very usable, great sounding student drum kit. Do not, parents, buy new drums for your kids. Because if little Johnny in 6 months' time decides he doesn't want to play drums anymore, and there's a fair chance that he will, and he'll want the space back in his room, and you'll want to be able to take the earplugs out of your ears because you will have had them in for 6 months, you're going to get absolutely zero for that kit. You're going to actually throw it in a skip because that's how much it'll be worth.
Don't
Whereas
you love drummers who turn a guitar question into a drum question? Don't you just love that, everyone?
I know it's the thing, but it gets to the same thing.
Yeah, but let's. It's a Squire. Those Squire Minis are actually quite good.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's probably worth getting it set up and having the thing sound and play like a really nice instrument. So I
don't think it'll cost that much. I reckon it'll cost you. I mean, if you took it down to someone that knows what they're doing, I don't think it would cost more than 40 quid to set up.
You're absolutely right. I think that's a good use of time and effort, because there is nothing worse to a kid who's trying to learn than the instrument getting in the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because they'll only get disheartened, won't they?
Yeah, and you go, why can't I play a chord and it be in tune? Well, you or I couldn't play a chord and it be in tune because the instrument is so badly set up. So you've got to get it to a point where the instrument can be in tune amongst itself and stay in tune. That's important. Otherwise, little Johnny or little Matt Griffin is gonna get upset and not enjoy playing guitar. See, I brought it back. I brought it back from drums back to guitar.
Well
See,
done,
that's the pro I am.
Andy John said, "Hi from New Jersey." Hi, Andy. Thoughts on the Rev D20 versus the Boss GT 1000 for home recording, practice, and live? Oof, that's a really good question.
It's like comparing an apple with a go-kart.
Yeah, yes, but I'm guessing he means like using the D20, using the two notes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I can tell you the good points and the bad points of each.
Tell me the good points and the bad points of each.
I will. The D20 using the two notes torpedo capture on the D20 is mono, which is great. It's just like sticking a microphone in front of an amp. Absolutely great. But then if you want to add effects afterwards, you can do that inside your DAW. So the good points of that, also you get, it's a valve amp. It sounds great.
It's a real amp.
And yeah, I guess that's it.
I don't think it's going to date as quickly as the GT1000.
No, definitely not.
It's a real valve amp. It's not going to lose value.
No, I agree.
It's an investment.
I agree, but then the GT1000 has got everything in it. So it's got amp modeling, it's got effects, it's got, depending which one you get. If you get the core, it doesn't have the expression pedals. You can buy expression pedals, but if you buy the full fat one, it comes with the expression pedal. And they're really good. The GT1000 is great. The D20 is great. If I had to choose between the two, I don't think I could.
Would you use the GT1000 into the D20?
Yeah, and a sort of, yeah.
If you wanted a real amp on stage,
yeah.
If you wanted a real amp on stage to give you some kind of air movement type thing into a tube.
Oh, I see. No, because no, I mean, unless you're using 4 cable, so you're using the actual front end of the D20, as opposed to running. I mean, you could run it into the effects loop. You could run that into the effects loop. I don't know. I think if it was me, I think I would, if you like technology and you really want to, because Boss, for me, the GT1000 is brilliant, and it sounds great and it feels great, but Boss's
operating system,
it's quite complicated. It's really good, but it's not like Line 6 where you get like visual things. It's quite, the Boss one's a bit more blocky. It's all right if you're using it on the computer.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind sort of going deep, get the GT1000. If you want a real amp, get the D20 because it's brilliant.
If you're a purist, go the the amp route, and if you're a techno person, dive into the GT1000. There,
Yeah,
we summed it up.
yeah, definitely. I think also it depends what sort of style of music you're doing. If you're doing more sort of metal stuff, go and get the G20 as opposed to the D20. If you're doing more sort of, if you want a more sort of versatile amp that can, that can't do high gain, but then you can put a pedal in front of it, go for the D20.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew says, any new Katana videos coming? Yep. Hopefully next week.
Ooh.
Hopefully. Aman Sigal says, hi Rats. Hi Man.
Hello.
Steve, good evening, gents. Evening. I'm going to go through thoughts on the new SonarWorks announcement. What? Oh, we're so behind. We're not on the cutting edge anymore, are we?
We've been busy. I mean, I actually made it out of the studio for the first time in months to go and see someone else in a real studio. It was so nice.
Do you want to look that up? Do you want to look that up just quickly? What will answer the next question?
Yeah, I will have a quick look.
Stephen James says, Paul, loved your YouTube on Nashville Tune Guitar. Never knew about that. Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah. I really like making that video.
You were so upset by it, though, weren't you?
So upset today. I was so upset. It took me 2 days, for a short video, which is 7 minutes. That took me 2 days to do, 2 full days, because you have to do a bit of production, you have to do all that sort of stuff, and then editing the video and all that sort of stuff, and then in 2 days it's had 500 views, and that to me is just
it's long tail though, isn't it? It's one that's going to serve us well moving forward. It's not just all about the here and the now.
Yeah, I know, but I just get it's so like you look forward to it, because you can do a video which takes like a couple of hours, and then you push the go live button, and you just see like the numbers go up, and you go, oh, this is exciting. And then you do one like that which takes you so long, and you put a lot of effort into it and a lot of passion into it, and it does nothing. Anyway,
okay, this looks like just another announcement from as far as I can tell. There's no big shouty, screamy stuff on their website, so I'm sure they've just made it better. It was pretty good before. I know lots of people who use it and they like it, so I'm sure they've made it better. And for the price that it isn't, as in it's not very expensive, you need to basically buy a microphone, which is 200 notes. I think you actually get those. Here's a top tip, boys and girls. The SonarWorks microphones that they try and sell you 100 to get you to buy for 100 odd quid are £60 Behringer microphones. That's all they are. Now, I know they would say that, yes, the serial numbers match and all that sort of stuff, but take it from someone who's done acoustic testing with these things. It's a £60 microphone.
Well, that lost our SonarWorks sponsorship.
Yeah, but I'm a Trinov user. I spent 6,000 quid sorting out my room. That's gonna help this room and the next room and the next room.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true. John says, one more question. All of his amps are Valve, and he's looking at getting a Kemper or a Line 6 for recording at home. Which one would you recommend?
Kemper.
I'd probably agree with you there, even though I've owned 2 and sold 2. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you.
It's a bit like saying, oh, I'm going to record. What are you using? Pro Tools. It's the industry standard. It just is. Line 6 will hate me for it, but everyone who's serious uses a Kemper. Until.
Yeah, it might be worth. Yeah, if you haven't heard about the Quad Cortex, John, that's coming out fairly soon.
Last year.
That's coming out fairly soon. That might suit you more than both of them. I think I would wait now.
It can't be long.
No,
it can't be long until they're ready.
No. Okay. What's up, everyone? Right, I'm just going through questions so I can get going. Hey guys, just your opinion on why people who purchase a Boss Katana amp and use pedals with it, doesn't that defeat the purpose of that type of amp with the foot controller?
No, not at all. because
Agreed.
there's not every single effect inside the Katana. There is a really good broad range of effects inside the Katana, but there is nothing to stop you using it. They've got a loop, haven't they? They've got an effects loop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the 100s have. I don't think the
Some of them
50s.
have, yeah. But you know, there's nothing to stop you putting effects pedals on the front end. There's nothing to stop you having things in the loop. Things like the 11 rack, the Boss GT1000, the Quad Cortex have all got effects loops for exactly that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, and also so the Katana, they're emulations of the effects. So for instance, if the Boss Katana's got a tube screamer, you know, drive pedal, it's an emulation of a tube screamer. It's not a tube screamer. So, you know, they do sound different. I did a video on it quite recently. If you want to have a look at it, James. And yeah, just like where I was comparing the pedals, and you know, they are good. They are good, but there's one little thing with the Boss Katana is that the compressor pedal can't come first in the chain. So for instance, if you want a compressor before your drive pedals, you can't do that on a Boss Katana.
Oh.
Not without fiddling around. Apparently there's some PC software where you can do that, but it isn't a Boss product. It's like a hack.
Right.
So yeah, little things like that. You can't move around certain effects to maybe where you like them.
A classic case of things we would change about stuff we really like.
Yeah, yeah,
I think the Katana is an amazing amp. I really do.
Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. Aziz Lewis says, "All right, guys, I'm going to be that guy. Active pickups or passive pickups?"
Active on bass, passive on guitar.
Interesting. I'm not fussed, to be honest. I think James is right with. I know, because I hear some basses and I just go, "Oh, that's such a great sound," and then I hear that's passive.
I must admit, I'm not one of these people who gets too hung up on that, because if it's a great noise coming out of the guitar, it doesn't matter. If I'm honest.
Yeah. A lot of people. So a few years ago, EMGs were really out of fashion.
Yep. And yet, I love the EMG Strat that Gilmour was playing all the way through
the 80s,
Pulse,
yeah,
the Pulse tour and that sort of stuff. Sounded amazing.
Yeah, it did sound great, didn't it? I really like EMG pickup. I've had a couple of guitars with EMGs on. I've had quite a few guitars with EMGs. I've always really liked them. But then, they're never going to sound vintage. Sorry,
they're super hi-fi.
Yeah, I really like. I really like the clarity of them.
So sorry, Aziz, we're well and truly on the fence with that one.
Yeah. I think it depends which ones. Yeah, it depends which ones.
And the style of music you're playing.
Yeah.
And you know, so I love my Yamaha bass, my 5-string bass, because it is a modern sounding active bass. I also love my Fender Jazz because it sounds like a Fender Jazz.
Yeah. Krenar Silku guitar, doing good, man. Order something to shoot it out against the HX Stomp for the channel. Excited about that. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, send us a link to your channel. I'd like to have a look.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Sorry, I've accidentally pulled down. I've just gone past all the questions. David says passive. You can easily make a passive pickup sound like an active pickup, but the other way around is impossible. Henrik Sorensen says, "Hi guys, love the channel. Have you tried the new Celestion Dynamic IR software mixer?" I haven't tried that. It looks really good though.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
There is a certain amount of me that is an old fashioned purist. You know, I like when someone says, "Oh, we could change this, we could change that." I like the fact that I've got certain speakers in certain cabinets, so I can change them over if I want to.
Yeah,
I don't want infinite numbers of choices. No. I want it to sound good. It's like one of the reasons I sold the 2 Notes Torpedo Studio to you is because there were so many options. There were too many for me.
Yeah.
I like, okay, the 11 rack is great for me. You get sort of 5 or 10 things to play with. I'm happy with that. I know the Quad Cortex when it arrives is going to be amazing because there'll be 300 different cabinets and 95,000 heads and 110 million different pedals, and I'll use about 5 because they'll be the ones I like.
Yeah. I hear you. I think but some people haven't got that choice. I think once you find, I mean, I've got that 2 Notes Torpedo Studio that's set up on one sound. I switch it on. That's what I use.
Right.
That's it. I mean, I might change a preset because I've got a couple of different presets, but literally that's always what I use because I found something that I like. If you haven't got to, I think, and also some people haven't got that opportunity of having a mic'd up cab in their room, so they've got to use IR. So,
I'd like to try it. I'd like to try the Celestion software because let's face it, as guitar speaker manufacturers go, Celestion are probably one of the 3. You know, the JBLs of old. You know, a JBL loaded tuba 12 could cut Fender Twin tuba 12 could cut glass.
Where are we? So we haven't tried it. Would like to. I might get hold of Celestion to see what we can do there.
And they're from my hometown as well, which is always good.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yep.
James, are you? David Lebee replied the same thing twice. James, are you planning on doing a video about tuning drums? It would be great.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yes,
that'll be my next video because it is. I've got some interesting theories on that I've stolen from a million different people, and I'll put it all together in one video.
Yeah, great. Henrik says, any new amps in videos? Love the UAD Freeman video recently. Yeah, cheers, Henrik. Yes, I was thinking of releasing one on Friday. I don't know which amp to do. I was going to do the S Gear if I can get my license sorted out, because my license for some reason stopped working.
S Gear is really good. The Scuffle
is really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, actually I might send him an email tomorrow. Henrik, if you have any suggestions of ones that you like, let me know and I'll do one on that, because I'd like, I always like sort of trying out new things.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm going to try and do that like a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have an amp sim video and a little technique video every week if I can.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Can you tell? Atari Wolf says, could you tell the difference in a studio recording between your Rev D20 and a GT1000 in terms of authenticity?
It would be one of those. I think it'd be one of those ones where it'd be very difficult to match the sounds from the two.
Yeah.
It would be. I would probably say virtually impossible to match the sounds of the two.
Yeah.
So. But I genuinely think I've not played the GT1000, so I can't say for certain. But this is where my argument, and it's not my argument, it's several people's argument that I've stolen. Stacking amp sim parts, by that I mean processed stuff.
Yeah,
does not sound as good as stacking real guitar parts, real guitar amps. You could have 95 Kemper parts and it would not sound the same as 95 real amp parts.
Definitely
there's a thing that goes on.
Yeah.
With all that. And it might just be the amount of top end information you get out of the amp sim world that you don't get from putting a microphone in front of a cabinet.
Yeah.
But there is a thing. And so if you're doing a lot of stacking of tracks of guitars, the real amp thing, I think, is the way to go. If you're someone who is just putting hard left and right panned rhythms and a center solo part, you will have no problems with an amp sim or a hardware processor.
Yeah.
Am I close?
Yeah, I think so. I think it really depends on the sort of sound you're going for. I think if you want, I always think amp sims work really well for that sort of high definition, high gain thing. Yeah. Work really well for that sort of stuff. If you're doing like an Americana sort of record and you want that, you know what I'm going to say, the clean tone on the verge of breakup, you can't beat real amp.
The Paul Drew sound.
The Paul Drew sound. It's been copyrighted now. Okay. Krenal Siku Guitar says you should see my analytics, his analytics on YouTube. I'd feel much better.
We all
It's
have
it's a tough job. It's a real tough job.
well.
Huh?
We all have to start somewhere as well.
Yeah, definitely. But it's a real tough. Mentally, it's quite tough as well because, you know, like my week could be, or my weekend could be amazing. I could feel great on a Friday, or I could be like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I hear you on that. But I mean, I've had a video I did a couple of weeks ago for Studio Spares has gone ballistic, and I think I didn't expect it to do that well, but the product is really hot at the moment. It's on the UF8, the SSL controller. So I should have known that was going to do really well. Sometimes you get a product in and you think this is going to absolutely fly, and the video dies on its derriere.
You should do the video on the Studio Rats channel.
I will do. I've got it now. It's mine.
Okay, nice one. Okay, tomorrow afternoon, I'll expect it.
Yeah. I won't tell you the technical issues I've been going through the last 24 hours with the video the two videos that are supposed to be ready on Friday that I will not have ready on Friday because of the technical issues I've been going through. But hey, yes, carry on.
Here we go. So Aziz also says he's answering David's question. You can hear a difference. I mean, I guess you can with a dirty tone, but not clean. Yeah, I think a certain the dirty tone. Definitely. Okay. Matt says, hi guys, could you share any thoughts on your video production techniques? Always look fantastic. With me, it'd be cutting out all the swearing and holding my head in my hands going, it's not working. Things like that. So cameras. I've got a what's it? A Sony ZV-1. It's a great little camera, and they're not expensive, and it does the whole depth of field thing.
Yeah,
and I think that makes a massive difference. And lighting. I don't think lighting is probably the most important thing.
Lighting is by far the most important thing. You can think of lighting like EQ. You can add it, but you should take it away. I know that's a very broad.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But every time if you boost the exposure because you haven't got enough light, you boost the distortion, you boost the grain in the picture, and it starts to look a bit rubbish. What I don't know if you do this, Paul, but when I shoot at 4K, but edit at 1080.
You're far more technical than me. I mean, yes, I shoot at 4K. I couldn't tell you what I edit at. I don't know if
because what I then have is 100% zoom factor.
Yeah.
If I'm slightly off center, I can correct it in post, because what we're doing as self shooters is actually quite difficult. And when you think sometimes you're not just making a video about doing a thing, you're making a video about making a video about doing a thing, because we've also got not just do the recording, we've also got to record do the recording, which does add another layer of complexity to it.
Yeah. Get a camera. Yeah, let me grab this because don't take a second.
Mine are all buried, so I can't really get them out. But
here we go. Get a camera. If you're shooting any video stuff, that's a ZV-1. It's like nothing. Get a camera that's got a flip out screen.
Definitely.
So you can see yourself in the camera. I think that's important.
My other big tip, and I can only really say this from doing it for the last year, is write yourself a script or pointers. And so, for example, if you're doing a tutorial video, write yourself an actual script of what you're going to say. Even if you don't use it, write yourself a script. If you're doing a review video, write some pointers so you know the points you want to get to. And the other thing I would suggest that I've started using, is you can probably just about see it back there, is fork out 120 quid for an auto cue, because it will speed you up. It has sped me up so much.
Is it?
Once you get a workflow running of how to shoot your videos, auto cue is just genius, because the auto cue software is on my phone. The text thing, that's just basically a support stand with a mirror in it and a one-way mirror.
Okay.
It's utter genius.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really, really clever. And that's actually because I'm doing a lot of corporate type videos now where I actually have to stick to a certain thread. It's been really important where you want it to be a bit more real life, bit more, a bit more actually putting those sort of things in or leaving those sort of things in, you can get away without it. I've been making videos for 10 or so years now, and it's only in the last year I've started using an auto cue, but it's sped me up so much.
Nice one.
But
Hopefully. David says, Aziz Lewis, a solid difference. Passive pickups are dynamics, meaning that they respond and sound differently when picking lighter or harder. Active pickups sound very compressed.
Interesting. I'm not sure I'd always agree with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think they don't sound. I mean, I would say they still have dynamics. They definitely still have dynamics. Yes, they are definitely. They definitely have a more compressed sound to it. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, not sure.
Everyone has a different opinion. It's all good. Hi, Jacob. Lefty Mike says, any experience with the Yamaha THR 100?
None at all. I can't get over the look of the thing.
You've got the speaker that goes with it.
Yeah, but I can't get over the look of the thing. It looks horrendous. It's one of those things you just go, really? Your design department had no input on this thing whatsoever?
It's supposed to be good, though.
It's supposed to be great. I'm sorry, I can't take that seriously.
Aziz Lewis says, yeah, I made a four pickup, wow, bass with active PJ EMG pickups and passive stock pickups I found on Amazon. Wow.
Interesting. Like that.
Hank Stone's in the house.
He's just arriving.
He's just arriving. Henrik agreed to many options. Yeah, okay. John Partridge, what software do you recommend for recording? I'm new at it, but want something easy to start. Or audio recording, I'm guessing.
Yeah. There is a learning curve to all of these things. If you're new and you're on Mac, then use GarageBand because it's really easy. If you're new and you're on PC, I'd say Reaper because the buy-in to Reaper is so cheap. Yeah. Because the basic principle of all these things is the same. You've got a thing that other than Ableton Live, which is completely different. And maybe now Bitwig, which is a bit different. And even Bitwig's now got a tracks window and a mixer. They are effectively a tape machine, an edit window running left to right, and a mixer. That's all the modern DAW is, pretty much.
So a lot of these DAW companies, they want you to, get in on the infrastructure of their DAW. So a lot of them offer free versions. So Studio One, Persona Studio One offers a free version. It's scaled back. I think you can, you can't do certain things. You can do loads of things with it. Mm-hmm. I'd highly recommend looking at that. Does Pro Tools still do a free?
Pro Tools has a free one, yeah.
But that's really I'd avoid that like the plague because it's really scaled back. It's really limited. I think they said you can use like 8 tracks or something. You can do more on your phone, for God's sake.
Say if you want Logic Lite or GarageBand, as we all know it.
Yeah.
There's Cubasis, which is
I don't think that's free though.
No, but it's normally under 50 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you're new to it, I wouldn't want to spend 50 quid.
No, probably not.
I think I'd really recommend. I think Studio One.
Yeah, probably good shout. Or Reaper, because Reaper is. I think there is a free version, isn't there, of Reaper?
Yeah, Reaper is free. I think it's an honesty box thing. I think
it's a donationware thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're professional, you're supposed to pay for it, but you don't have to, and I think most people don't. I think,
and a lot of people who use Reaper absolutely swear by it as rock solid, really simple.
I hear it's not. I hear it's more of a. It's more of a a tweakers platform.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Because you can change everything. You can change the way it looks, the way it performs. It's like the difference of like let's put it like Studio One would be Mac, that would be PC. You know, you can get under the hood and you can do a lot more. And
Okay.
not
Cool.
I don't know. I don't want to know anything about that.
No, me neither. Give me a mixer and a tape machine, please.
Yeah, anything that stops you being creative is completely wrong for me. So if you know, if you've got an opportunity to change the way it looks and performs, and that's too much time wasted not creating music.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Yeah, so I'd recommend Studio One. James, one option.
I purely because of it, the simplicity of operation, Pro Tools, just because it's so straightforward.
Yep. David Brose bought the Wampler Ratsbane. Never had a rat before. Absolutely love it. Oh, nice one.
You missed out on Matt Wright's question 2 above.
Oh, sorry, Matt. The Oxbox is great for speaker emulation, and the room blend effects are wonderful. Yes, definitely. Oh, sorry. Have I missed some? Because the questions keep going up.
All right.
Okay. Yes, I did. I missed.
It was above that. It was the actual question. Sorry.
Yeah. The Ox is, yes, it is a lot more. It's a lot more universal audio.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great interface, simple to use, few options, but great options. Yeah, definitely. Henrik says, Paul, I would suggest UAD Silver Jubilee. Oh, nice one. Yes,
it's really good actually. That UAD Silver Jubilee is great.
Is it a soft tube one?
I could not sure. I don't think it is.
I'm not so keen on the soft tube amps.
I couldn't say for certain.
Well, I will load that up tomorrow and I'll have a look at it. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Henrik. Kreenal Siku Guitar. I've considered pulling the plug on his channel, sell everything, get a jazz box, and just enjoy playing guitar. But the awesome, cool comments I get from people keep me going at it. That's brilliant. Yeah, I know you feel. I really know how you feel. And it's nice when you get a nice comment, especially at an early stage.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really keeps you going. It really does keep you going. I remember being so excited about even just any comments.
Paul hasn't got to the stage yet where he's the cynical old relic that doesn't read YouTube comments. He actually still.
Well, you still
get upset by them. I read them and I will reply to the ones that are, that are creative and constructive, whereas some wazzock saying, no, he's been bought off. No, just go away. I don't need that negativity in my life. Say something nice and I'll respond. Say something negative and yeah. And unless I feel it's genuine, it's heartfelt or genuine, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Are you talking to Jack?
No, I'm not. I'm talking to Abby. I asked Abby a question. How it's going with Jack, and just before it came on, she's now responding, going ding, ding, ding. All my messages are popping up. So I'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah. Just keep going, Krena. I mean, send us a link to your channel. Send us a link to your channel. Henrik says, after 1 year, how do you find Luna? Seems to be simple to use and good flow of working quickly. Do you agree? Yeah, I love Luna. I absolutely love Luna.
I haven't spent enough time in Luna purely because I have been entrenched in other workflows because Luna is only UA interfaces, I can't be swapping backwards and forwards all the time. So I haven't spent enough time in it, if I'm honest. But I loved it. I loved it when we did that first track. I really loved Luna as a workflow. It was great. Straightforward sound. It sounds great. When people say all DAWs sound the same, Luna doesn't.
No,
Luna sounds different.
Yeah. So there's the other option. Who asked?
Whoever asked about getting into DAWs, buy yourself an Apollo or an Apollo Solo, which is the cheapest way to get in, and use a free software like Luna. It's as free. It's as feature rich as you are going to get from a free piece of software. It's incredible.
And they're updating it all the time. They really put a lot of R&D into it, and it's getting updated all the time. I mean, every day I get a beta announcement through saying there's a new version. Yeah. I need to keep more on it, to be honest. What about noiseless pickups, James?
I have never really. You know, when someone says,
I thought you got a guitar with lace sensors.
I have. Are they noiseless?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like their sensors. Thanks. They sound great.
I like lace sensors.
They're fantastic pickups. I bought that guitar because I loved the 24 Nights Clapton videos, the Clapton concerts.
Yeah.
And that's he played a guitar with lace sensors, and I went, I want that in my life. And I found that guitar, and that's my Strat. It's an amazing guitar. I love it. There are other Strats out there I would like, but if I have to have one, it's that one. I love it. It's a great guitar.
I've got that. The only guitar I've got with active pickups is that Reverend, and that's got what are the pickups?
Oh, excuse me. I don't know.
It will tell me if I pick it up. Well, I'm just being lazy. What does it say on it? Fishman Fluence.
Ah, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's got a Fishman on it, and it's great because you've got this button you push in. So it's supposed to, I mean, I've said this on the channel before. So it's supposed to be like, I think, like Blackguard telly out, right, and you push it in and goes to White Guard telly. But to me, it's just a preamp boost, really.
Okay, yeah, I'll nod and agree. See, you know when someone says, "Oh, I've got a Fender Jazz 63 with so and so neck and a cellulose body, and it's got so and so noise," I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. It's only recently I found out the difference in finishes.
You know, really?
The cellulose versus polyurethane versus the other one. I suppose it's because guitar is my second fiddle. It's not. I can talk about drum heads and all that sort of shit till the cows come home. But with guitars, I pick it up, and if I have a connection with it, and I like the sound, then that's a good enough reason for me to buy it. I'm not one of these people who go, "Oh, I must always have, the noiseless or the latest thing or whatever." If I like it, I'll buy it.
I think that's the best way to be. I think you're right there. Yeah, I'm not bothered if I picked up a guitar and it had EMGs on it, I'd probably love it. And if it had Seymour Duncans on it, I'd probably love it if the guitar was. Yeah. But anyway, those Fishman Fluence pickups, they don't feel compressed at all.
That guitar sounds great for a shall we say a for your collection, a non-custom shop guitar. Mm-hmm. It sounds great. It doesn't stand out as a weak link in your playing at all.
No. It's a really good guitar. Where are we? Okay. Matt also says, thanks both. Really helpful advice. Which auto cue basic light brands would you recommend? What's the ones that you told me to get?
The lights.
Newer?
Anything by a company called Newer. Yeah, that is Amazon specials basically. You want the ones where you can have the two different color temperature LEDs in. So depending on how your room is, so for example, recently I've just put new LED spots in the roof of the studio because they were all starting to die, and I've purposefully gone out and got daylight balanced bulbs, so they don't look warm, they don't look yellow. Mm-hmm. And I think that's basically a tungsten-y thing, so they start to look blue. So at that point, in the main sort of these lights, these are the newer ones. Those sort. They've got two rows of LEDs, two sets of LEDs. Some white, some kind of a yellowy white, and you can blend them to get the color temperature you want. A pair of those is about 200 quid, if that.
Yeah. Henrik says, "Oh, do you know, there's something actually I really want to get onto if John Green's still around. Mm-hmm. I want to ask him about his guitar, which I want to show everyone."
All right.
Yeah, John, let us know if you're still about. Henrik says, "Do you use Mac or PC?" I use Mac.
Both. There you go.
Yeah, I don't use PC at all. Don't.
And the only reason I went PC is because of the amount of video I'm doing.
Right.
If I was just doing Pro Tools, I would probably not have bothered to go above my my old cheese grater. But because of the amount of video and the amount of video data I'm getting through, I've got dozens and dozens of hundreds of terabytes of drives now of video content. That's just it's silly. So
yeah, yeah. I think if you're a Mac guy, you'll it's one of those things. Oh, you can get people really rolled up. I've got a friend of mine who wouldn't go anywhere near a Mac, and there's people that wouldn't go anywhere near a PC. I'm not naming any names.
I'm so on the fence. I don't care.
Don't you care?
I'm talking to you on a Mac. I've got a PC just there, which is my main studio machine.
Right, John's still in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Before we answer any more questions, because just in case John's got to go at some point.
Yep.
Can I share my screen?
You can.
I'm not giving away any information here, am I? No, I'm not. Good. Okay. Of John's.
You're not going to John's.
Share my screen. Right. John sent me a picture of his guitar, which is called it's called a Les Paul Signature. Have you ever heard of a Les Paul Signature?
Yes, I have.
Tell me about it. Tell me. Go on. What do you know?
I seem to remember. It's a Les Paul. It's a Les Paul guitar, as in it's got Les Paul. It's the Les Paul design, but it's a double cutaway, isn't it? It looks like a
what? How come? And I'm the only person that doesn't know about this guitar. I've never seen one in my life.
It looks like a Les Paul Junior. It's got that kind of weird double cutaway thing going on.
Yes, it has got a weird double cutaway, but it's like a 3-3-5 shape. Anyway, yes, I'm going to share.
Yeah, is it semi? I think it is semi, isn't it?
You're a semi.
Thank you. I knew it was coming. Go on, share your screen then. Share your screen. Go on.
Share screen. Here we go. Share this one. Yeah. Okay. Good. Can you see?
Right. I can now. There it is. Yep.
Look at the check-in on that. Look at all the.
It's awesome.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely amazing. That is a guitar that has been played a lot.
So I've been doing some research since John sent me some pictures. So I went on Reverb. There's a few on Reverb.
Wow. Yeah, it's that double cut. The double cutaway thing looks really odd.
Yeah, it's almost like off. It's not offset, but it is. The guitar's not offset, but it
looks a bit like a Music Man Axis, where they've got.
I know what you mean. Yeah. And then, luckily, then I found the original advert for it. You want to see that?
Yep, go on. Les Paul and Mary. Oh, wow.
How good is that?
That is a handlebar, boys and girls. That looks amazing.
Look at that. So that's the original. I think that's a great looking instrument.
It's very cool. It would turn heads, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've never seen one ever. And I thought I was a guitar geek. Anyway, stop.
There we go. Woo.
Yeah, that's John, cool. if you did want to tell us more about it and you want to come on, let us know. If you'd rather not come on, not a problem at all. But yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. If you want to play it as well, that'd be even better. I think John's got some nice guitars. I actually saw in John's picture, I think he's got one of those. Is it a truss art? The full metal ones. The full metal. I could just see a corner of it in the picture. It's like it's a Telecaster, but it's made out. Is James Truss art? Is that the maker?
The diamond plate ones.
Diamond. What do you mean by diamond plate?
Diamond plate, as in, if I said truck ramps.
Looks like diamond. I see. No. You mean like a boogie rectifier diamond plate? I see what you mean. No. It's a metal. It's a solid. No, it's hollow, but they're metal, and they sound brilliant. I used to know someone that had one. It sounded amazing.
Like a resonator.
It's not a resonator.
Right.
It's not. It hasn't got a resonator in it, but it's. Yeah, it was just. Yeah, they're really
love a resonator, nice. By the way, I would love a resonator.
That's what you should get. You should get that over getting a piano.
No, I want a piano. I'm having a piano.
Okay. Next question. Atari Wolf. Are the biggest YouTube guitar influencers the new guitar hero rock stars of our time? That is a really good question.
I really hope not.
It is. That's what it is.
I really hope
what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, do you know what? I think in these times of lockdown and COVIDity. Oh, and by the way, I got my appointment this for my first stab in the arm.
Yeah, James, he looks good, but he's actually 55.
I'll tell you what, if I was 55, I'd be looking like this, I'd be well happy.
I
Um,
haven't got mine through yet.
Poor. What was saying? Sorry, I jumped.
Where are we? Yeah, are the biggest YouTube guitar influencers the new guitar rock?
I think what's happening now is it's kind of a double header. Is that the big players, are starting to do more stuff on YouTube. So like Steve Vai is now starting to take YouTube seriously and doing his own channel, and it's not all about yoga and mindfulness. It's actually about guitar playing and stuff. Petrucci,
how was he ever in Dave Lee Roth's band? How did that ever happen?
how was he ever? It was Zappa, Was that?
Yeah.
So what I think is happening is while these guys aren't out on tour and doing gigs, they're starting to become YouTubers. Now you've got people like Paul's best mate Tim Pierce, and you've got everything music. What's his name? Slick back, silver hair.
Rick Beato.
Rick Beato. Those guys who are great players and great session guys, but are now pushing the whole YouTube thing because there ain't the gigs at the moment. When the gigs start to come back, I wonder if we will find that people like oh god, who's the guy with the hair?
Not me.
No, oh god, I've forgotten his name. Is it Rabin?
Rabin. Oh, Rabia Masad.
Rabia, sorry, yes, Rabia. Sorry,
yeah,
amazing player, and has an amazing channel and following and stuff. But surely, that talent is also being used on a stage live. But at the moment, of course, it isn't, because there isn't any stages and there isn't any live. I think it will come back, that there are the guitar heroes will go back to being guitar heroes again, and it's not all about YouTubers, because I hate the phrase YouTuber. I really do.
Do you prefer the term influencer?
I loathe the term influencer.
Yeah.
I think it's horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, I still on a daily basis, I do still make videos for the Rats channel and for Production Expert and for various companies who I get paid to make videos for. But on a daily basis, I still have to ask myself, why do people listen to me? Because I don't have walls of platinum records, and I don't have credits as long as a roll of toilet paper. And there are plenty of people out there doing this, but for some reason, maybe it's a communication thing. That's not to say that I don't think I have a valid voice in this world about this sort of stuff, because I've been doing it quite a while. But I'm still amazed that people listen to me and watch my stuff and enjoy it. But hey, that's the wonder of YouTube.
I think they are the new. I think YouTube has got such. The thing is, it's got, anyone can watch it.
It's
guys like
the world's second biggest search engine after Google, who also own YouTube.
Yeah. But these guys have got a platform. Let's not even think of people that are already established, like Steve Vai and Satriani and that lot. The new guys. Let's think of. I'm trying to think of some.
I don't know that many. The guitar.
Yeah, you don't. But that's it. But you're. I know you play guitar, but you're primarily a drummer.
Yeah.
I mean, there are. These guys are massive. Like
there are some guys in the drum world who are massive, have massive followings, and their videos hit 4 or 5 million views, and I'm like, really? I'm not going to name and shame, because that's not right. But I watch their stuff and go, just no, you're just wrong. And that's where it gets dangerous, I think. I think bad advice is very, very dangerous. And say, hopefully, and something I try not to give is bad advice, the wrong advice. I would personally, I know you're like this, I would always steer clear of a question or deflect a question at someone with far greater knowledge than just make something up and be wrong. Because that doesn't help anybody.
Well, I think yes, I actually think they are, because I think even who's the guy that's based in Norway that does the covers, that does like songs and then covers them like a metal in a metal way. I've forgotten his name now.
I don't know.
It's a massive channel.
Sounds good though. Sounds
yeah,
really good.
Yeah, and then he tours it, and also I think Rabir occasionally goes out and tours with them. They do like massive like open air arena, open air shows and stuff, huge. So yes, I think they probably are the new rock stars of our time.
But those guys are rock stars in their own right. They are rock stars. They happen to have YouTube channels.
No. These guys started a YouTube channel. He started a YouTube channel doing covers of metal songs. Someone will tell me in a minute. If I go down the comments. Nope.
Okay, but it would scare me that a YouTuber is the next rock star, because the reason that we look at the Petrucci's and the Steve Vai and all that is because they've got. I do, all right, but I worship those guys because they're upstate. There's an old saying, isn't there? Those that can do, those that can't teach. Now I don't hold that much levity to that, but there is definitely something to be said for listening to someone tell you how to play guitar who you can see tomorrow night up on stage absolutely melting it, rather than someone who full well has had to sit there and just work on that lick to get it.
That's me.
Video ready.
It's me.
That's rubbish, and you know it. Sorry.
Okay, John Wallace says, what pedals would you recommend most for a Katana Mark II amp?
I would say you want a fuzz face in the front end, because there isn't. The fuzz face I don't like.
I disagree. Oh, the fuzz face. I don't know about the big muff's quite good.
Yeah, the fuzz face I don't like on the Katana. Okay. And some kind of shimmer verb would be good, because there isn't one.
I always think shimmer verbs work best in stereo though, so that's the only thing for me.
True.
I would say a compressor and a boost pedal. I don't think the boost is that great. And a compressor, so you can compress first, if that's what you're into. Which is how I like to do it. Henrik says UAD and soft tube. He's referring to the Silver Jubilee. I'm so going to check that out, because the Silver Jubilee was my favorite Marshall they sent me. Love that amp. David Brose. This may be a dumb question. There's never a dumb question.
No such thing.
No such thing. But are there any sites where I can send a track and a real drummer would add to it and send back? Yes. Find
me on YouTube. On YouTube, check out my website www.locationrecordings.co.uk, and I will play on your music for you. That's what I do. There you go. So www.locationrecordings.co.uk and click on Real Rhythm. There you go.
Cranar Silku Guitar. That's kind of you, Paul, but unfortunately YouTube doesn't allow links on live chats. Oh, that's a shame. Send me a link. Go on the website and send me a link there, or just write the name of your YouTube channel. Also, James, I forgot to tell you, I haven't got around to it yet, but and forgive me, I've forgotten who sent it. Someone, they're asking about mixing, doing a live
critique. Yeah,
a track got sent through by the gentleman that asked the question, and I'm sorry I've forgotten your name. I've got you lined up, and it's really good actually. The track's really good. Definitely got some points about it.
Okay.
But obviously, you're really good. So we need to do that at some point. We need to schedule that in.
Okay, we did it tonight, or we're going to do it next week?
Let's do it next week.
Let's do it next week, because we're already
next week. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah, really good. That'd be really good to do. And
also send us in your mixes. If you want, we're going to call it a mixed critique, but that's only because that's what it's called. We're not going to shoot you down in flames and say this is rubbish, because I doubt that anyone out there is making stuff that is actually rubbish, because quite frankly, you're probably doing really cool, great sounding stuff. So, and we'd love to hear it. And at any point as we can offer, then great. You can then, of course, choose to listen to or ignore anything we've said, but it'll be great to hear your music and hear what you guys are doing.
Yeah, definitely. Henrik says just needs to buy a Mac to use Luna. I don't think they're far off. At some point, they've got to release a PC version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd always recommend a Mac, because they're just. I'm not even going to say they don't go wrong, because my one would go wrong tomorrow. But do you know what? I've still got a laptop in the house somewhere from. Gosh, I reckon 2009. It's still going.
I today bought an iPad because I needed to buy the new all singing, all dancing thing to do some work with Antelope Audio, and I realized they do a trade-in scheme. So basically like a recycling thing, and my iPad is the same one that Avid bought for me when I was with Avid 11 years ago. And no wonder it's getting a bit slow and a bit long in the tooth. They would offer me a whole £25 for that iPad. So I said, stuff that. The kids need one, so they've got it.
Yeah, it's not worth it, is it? 25.
It's not worth it.
Insult. You think the amount that they charge, the
Apple tax.
They don't Apple tax, exactly. Yeah, they don't do you any favors, but when they want to buy, when they have to buy something back, they don't reward you.
No.
Bags. Lefty Mike, is there any reason to record above 24-bit 44.1? Yes. 48. I would go 48 minimum now. Yeah.
And on my own stuff where I have a choice, I record 96.
Yeah, James.
Purely because plugins work better at higher sample rates. And if you're doing anything like pitch correction or anything like really heavy lifting processing, where you're doing, let's say pitch correction is the big one, or time compression expansion, it sounds better at higher sample rates. That is not an opinion. That is fact, because it has more to work with.
Yeah. Henrik says, just wanted to stress, really like your channel, play guitar myself and get some great ideas from your channel. Thanks a lot. Keep it up. Cheers, Henrik. Will do. Great. Yeah, Crean, I'll just send it through. I look forward to having a look at it. John's still in the house. Yeah, we've done that one, haven't we? Oh, God, that's the thing. Every time I go down on questions, it just shoots to the...
It does jump around, doesn't it? It's quite annoying.
Clarification about my active-passive statement. What I meant was more dynamic. Yes. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Michael says, Andy Wood's YouTube channel is... yeah, Andy Wood's awesome.
Okay.
Pete Thorne's amazing guitar.
He's a monster, but he's also a live player. He's not just a studio guy. He gets out there and plays on stage live and he's a rock and roller as well.
He's really such a good player. Should YouTubers get signature guitars? Oh, that's a great question. What do you think?
Well, there's a few, isn't there? Recently, they've got some.
Yeah, Rick Beato got one.
Yeah.
Pete Thorne's obviously got one, but I don't know if that was before his big YouTube channel.
I don't know. It's the Rick Beato one's the interesting one, though, isn't it?
Mateus Asato, amazing guitar player again. Who else? I can't think of anyone. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
And there's even YouTubers now that have their own guitar companies. Not that.
Well, did.
No, still.
Is it still going?
Yeah. There's two. There's obviously Rob Chapman and the Solar Brain, which is Ola's. Oh, yeah. Obviously more geared towards the sort of heavy end. I don't know. I never know about that.
The Chapman guitars were great, though. If you got a good one.
Never played one.
If you got a good one, they were great. If you got a bad one, they were a dog.
That's the problem.
And that's that's where all these smaller companies that are desperately trying to be bigger mass production companies fall over. Not on the actual production run, it's their quality control that falls over.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's always been the case.
When you
Even
get
Gibson get it wrong. Gibson in the 80s and 90s, their quality control was horrendous. There are those who would still say it's horrendous.
Yeah. It worries me when you've got a guy, you've got a guy that's working primarily by himself, and then there's a factory in Indonesia making guitars,
Mm-hmm.
and those guitars get shipped out all over the world without the quality control being controlled by that person. That to me, it just doesn't work.
It has to be said, it's not just the guitar world that has that problem. It's instrument manufacturer the world over. For example, if you buy a top end buffet and crampon bass clarinet, for example, for several £1,000,
yeah,
it is a beautiful thing. If you buy the starter bass clarinet, which is still 1,200-1,300 quid, it's not a cheap instrument to buy.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
It has come straight from the factory, straight to the music shop. I actually watched. The only reason I say this with that particular instrument is because a mate of mine bought a bass clarinet. Good sax player, wants to play bass clarinet, and he was having lessons with a very fine jazz. Sorry, Paul, I mentioned jazz on this channel. I know. Bass clarinetist called David John Baptiste, and he took his instrument. He went, and David John Baptiste picked up this £1,200 instrument and went, well, no wonder you can't make it sound right, and started going and bending all the stuff on it, bending stuff into place, and went, try that. And my mate Steve went, it was a different instrument after someone actually lined everything up and set it up properly. And this is on a £1,200 thing. How on earth is a 500-600? And this was several years ago now as well. How on earth is a £500 or £600 guitar that's come straight from Indonesia in a cardboard box in a container that was not hermetically sealed and was been up and down in temperature and all that stuff? How on earth is it expected that will hit the shelf or the rack on a guitar shop and be in a playable state? It amazes me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or worse, it will go straight to the customer because it won't even make it to the shelf. It'll go straight in the box, straight to the customer, and they'll go. They might be lucky and get a good one, or they might be unlucky and get a real dog.
Yeah. So, in answer to your question, should YouTubers get signature guitars? Well, if anyone wants to make a Paul Drew signature guitar, I'll be well up for it.
It'll be really shiny.
Shiny? Why would it be shiny? Just unbelievable. The amount of bold
abuse. That's what it is.
Abuse. Okay, you make good review. Okay, thanks, Henrik. Honesty goes a long way. Frog Leap, thank you, Queen. Yes, Frog Leap. Leo Moraccioli. Yes, Frog Leap is a company. Is the guy at the YouTuber that makes the videos. Cool. They're really entertaining. It's not my sort of thing, but he spends a lot of time and a lot of effort doing a high quality product.
Have you seen that band that are doing really good era medleys?
No.
I can't remember what they're called. I think they're European. I don't think they're American because they've got this is going to sound horrendous, but they look European. It's got a European look to it. But they did an amazing video, like 10-minute medley of Jump and loads of kind of 80s rock stuff. Really, really great players. All done. Like the keyboard player has got 1 million keyboards around him. He looks like something like Rick Wakeman with an amazing sort of Spock beard thing going on. And then you've got 2 guitar players who are great and a great drummer, all playing live. Really, really good. Really, really good noise. Awesome. I'll find some links and post them because they're such good stuff. It's a bit. The only thing that spoils it for me is the thumbnails always look a bit cheesy. But wow, great bands.
Yeah.
Yes, Martin Miller, that's the one. Well done. Well done, everyone. Great stuff. Really, really good.
Yeah. Where are we? Have we tried? Okay, Paul, what have you got against Softtube? Absolutely nothing. Softtube are an amazing company. They're really good. The Console 1 is one of the best things you can buy for a studio. I just don't think their guitar modeling's that good, if I'm honest. That's on what I've heard. I haven't actually heard the Jubilee, but yeah, but their plugins are great. Yeah, just the guitar stuff. Have you tried the new UAD guitar pedals yet? Nope, still waiting for them. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's. I don't want to rant about things. I think Universal Audio are amazing. I worked so hard for them when Luna came out. You'd have thought that we would have been one of the first to get the guitar pedals, but anyway. So James, do you create full backing tracks?
Yes, depends what you want. Tell me what you want. What you really, really want, and I can do it.
Where are we? Matt says, yeah, I know this story. Yeah, this is nasty story. In September last year, he nearly lost his life in a very serious car accident. He just went to say thanks very much for the Studio Rats. It's been wonderful to listen to you throughout his rehab. Yeah, that was a horrible, horrible, horrible accident, Matt. Yeah, we're definitely feeling for you. And yeah, Matt phoned me a few weeks ago and we talked. Yeah.
Oh,
hoping
glad,
for your
glad we can help. Soon. Thank you for joining us and being part of our Wednesday night social.
Yeah, get back to your full health as soon as possible. That was me, Rainbow. Cool, that was me, Rainbow.
Don't know. What was that about?
Rainbow. I don't know. Yeah, you might have to explain that one, David. Anyway, so many soloists require a good real bass and drum backing tracks, but the main backing tracks out there are poor quality karaoke tracks. Surely there's a market out there. Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I think it depends what you want as well. A lot of people say, can you play in the style of? Yes, but it's still going to sound like me. I'm not one of these people who is going to sit down and note for note analyze the way someone played on a track. I'm going to play it's going to sound a bit like me. So if you want note for note, I'm probably not your man. If you want someone who's musicality into a track or into an original project or whatever, hey, I am available, and I'm not cheap, but I'm competitively priced.
Henrik and David both say the Rabea guitar, signature guitar with Chapman. I still haven't tried one. It's probably not really. I'd quite fancy the baritone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a massive fan of high output pickups, and I know that Rabea uses his signature pickups, and I think they're really high output. But anyway, I'm saying that I'm saying this, and I've never tried one. So yes, I would like to try one.
Nice.
So everyone's talking about Martin Miller. They did a rendition of Sultans of Swing with Josh Smith, and he puts a mean solo into that one.
I bet that was great.
Yeah, Josh Smith's just ridiculous, and he's so good.
Can I show you my delivery from today?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, because we've run out of questions.
We've run out of questions. That's why I'm saying it. Right. So I am a very lucky boy at the moment. I'm working with the team at Studio Spares, and I have got to do a video on this bad boy. Paul has absolutely no interest whatsoever. Right, coming in your ears. This is a Pro Tools Carbon. And it is, do you know what? It's about blimmin' time Avid built a box that's catching up with everybody else. Because this is the closest thing. Okay, there is some tech in it that I'm yet to really dive into and understand. Mainly the fact that it is entirely AVB connected. There is no Thunderbolt, there's no HDX or anything like that. It connects to your computer via an AVB network style connection. There's DSP in here, so you can track in real time with plugin. Again, Paul's really lost the will to live, haven't you?
No, I'm reading it, and I'm reading a message from Kreenar, Silku Guitar. So if anyone wants to go and just before James rants on about this thing, if anyone wants to go and follow Kreenar, that's his YouTube channel. So it's Kreenar Silku Guitar. So go and check that out. And I'm going to after James finishes boring me with this product that should have been released 10 years ago.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that because the thing that I'm liking about it is the fact that real-time plugins. And again, real-time plugins in a slightly different way. There's no reliance on Thunderbolt connectivity or USB or anything like that, or any of those protocols that have come and gone. Machines, for as long as I can remember, have had a network port on them. And that's where this is going to score. The fact that you can you'll be able to use machines long since when Thunderbolt and USB 3 have gone. This is have a network port on it. And I'm told you can stack these together. It's got 8 mic pre's on it, 8 line level inputs on it. It's actually got 16 line level ins, 8 on a D sub, 8 outs, a stereo pair, foot switch. It's got word clock, so you can use it alongside things like the APB and other sort of digital systems. 16 and ADAT optical on it, so you could realistically on this record 32 channels into Pro Tools simultaneously.
Right? Can I be the devil's advocate?
Please do. It's also quite heavy, so I'm going to put it down there.
Okay, so compared to an HDX card,
yep.
How much DSP? What's the difference in DSP?
I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer right here, right now. I haven't.
I've heard it's not even close. It's not even close. So a card that they released 10 years ago, they couldn't even put that amount of DSP inside that rack unit. That's the first thing. You can only use their own
Pro Tools Carbon plugins.
Again, Avid are just doing things they should have done 10 years ago. It pisses me off.
You could, of course, actually, that's not. I was about to shoot UA down, but of course, you don't have to just use UA plugins. You can use any old AU or VST, can't you?
Yeah.
Inside, yeah.
It's just, I don't get it. I just
the look of the box, the look of it. They've now caught up with Antelope and with other brands, UA to a certain extent. They've finally caught up with what other brands are doing. I mean, it's not quite an Antelope level of IO machine gunning, but there's enough on it. 32 channels. If you've got a couple of ADAT optical mic pre's, that's enough. That's enough to record a band quite happily.
Okay. Next thing, what does it come with? Like software wise, what do you get?
I again don't know. I'm gonna have all this stuff I'll be checking out. Literally, you saw me get it out of the box before we came on this call.
Yeah. Okay.
So
so probably you've still got to. You probably get a year's worth of Pro Tools.
I really would hope. I would hope. I'm not going to say for certain because it might just be a hardware dongle that you then need to still have your Pro Tools.
So let me get this right. So then after that year has expired, let's just say that Avid are being unavid and they give you a year's Pro Tools license.
Yeah.
Then after that year, you've got to go and then spend £1,000 a year.
£1,000 a year to run Pro Tools.
They can honestly.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with Avid. I'm done with them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm quite passionate about.
If there was another way to run Pro Tools, if what we all hoped happened back 3 or 4 years ago, when Avid were in the real depths of despair, well, probably nearer 5 years ago now, when they were right at the very rock bottom of despair, if what had happened, it would have been brilliant. And by that, I mean, if Universal Audio had bought Pro Tools, would have been amazing.
Absolutely. It would have been. And yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it didn't happen, did it?
Oh, such a shame.
Yeah.
Herlock Vanguard. It's not up your alley, but I'll try it anyway. What's your opinion? Boss Katana 50 Mark II, black metal tone, possible or not? I would have thought so. I don't. Can you explain to me what
black metal is?
Yeah, all the different genres of metal. I get so confused. If there's something very specific about black metal, I don't know. I don't. My sort of metal genres, I'm not too hot on. But yeah, let us know. Yes, but I would have thought so.
I
It's
don't
got.
see why
They've got. Yeah, they've got everything. It's honestly got everything you'd need for. Yeah, I'm 99% positive you could definitely do that.
Yeah, for not a lot of money.
Definitely, yeah. Stephen says, Paul, loved your video on the Clean Rockman patch. Could I ask to get the stereo chorus and delay? Would it work if I use a single 2x12 cabinet split into stereo, or must I get two single cabinets to use with the Katana 100-watt head? That's a really good question. No, the Katana 100-watt head. I've only got a Mark 1 head here. Let me have a look.
It's mono, isn't it?
I think they're mono. And I mean, they might. Yeah, it's mono. Honestly, the best way of doing it is to do that video. To do like me and James did in that video, where you get two katanas and you link them up using the, what's it called, James? Do you remember?
Stereo link, isn't it? Stereo link feed.
Band or something, isn't it? It's something like that. And
it sounded epic in the room, didn't it?
Oh, what a sound! It was brilliant. Yeah. So it's. I personally. Okay, have your head and just go and buy a Katana combo as well. I think it has to be a Mark II.
Yes, it does.
Go and get that as opposed to using a 2x12. So you can have a 1x12 in your head and a combo. So, you know, more or less the same weight and space that you'll be taking up anyway. And the sound is epic.
Yeah. I was really impressed.
Once
we worked out how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to do a bit of boss tech support there. Matt says, if comparable later this year, do you think the SSL UF8 would give you a console experience in Luna?
Yes, it's awesome. And I don't like controllers. I don't like control surfaces. I love that thing. It's so cool. And that's another case of I got it to do a feature video for Studio Spares, and I said in the video I'm not letting them have it back, and I paid for it.
Right. Okay. I understand. Okay. So yes, and I think at some point, we don't know exactly when, but at some point I would guess that
they've got one, haven't they? Because
yes, they are testing up there.
Yeah.
So yes, at some point this year, I would. I mean, UAD, the Universal Audio, they're moving so fast with their software production. It's really good. David, okay, so this is what the Rainbow comment was. So it was David that sent the track. David, done a great job on that. There's some really great parts on that. So yes, can we do that next week, David? So I'll send it to James. Yep. James, can you remind me tomorrow?
Yep. Paul, send me that track tomorrow.
and then we'll get that scheduled in for next week. Yep,
and
if anyone else wants to send us their track, we'd love to have a listen.
Yeah,
and play it on air. Herlock Vanguard, thanks for the answer. I got my Katana right before you started posting videos on them. I can't seem to get enough of a chug on the stock speaker, but I'll try to explore the EQ. That's interesting. I can definitely get a chug on it.
Yeah, I think, and also the stock speaker is very smiley curve, isn't it? It's very scooped.
I can't remember. I've taken it out of mine.
Yeah, because you went redback, didn't you?
Yeah, I put redbacks in there. Yeah, I can't remember. I think. I mean, you could definitely get a chug. You could definitely get a chug.
Yeah.
Out of it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You need to step out of your just on the verge of breakup comfort zone and go for the.
No, I love a bit of 80s chug.
Love it.
Do you know a chug? The best dog I've ever seen was called a chug, and it's a cross between a Chihuahua
and a pug.
It was the best, and it's called a chug. Best tiny little. Oh, it was awesome. Anyway, are we done?
I think we're done. I think we've done all the questions. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and sticking with us. we'll do a mix show next week. And we'll always do your questions because hey, that's why we're here.
Yes. And it's our highlight of the week, isn't it? It is our
Yeah,
at the moment. It's our highlight of the week.
It's absolutely our week, our time to connect with you, the musical masses. There we go. That was deep, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can I just say as well, if anyone's got any video ideas,
Mhm.
if anyone wants any videos made of certain things, just send us. We're always looking for, or I'm always looking for ideas of videos to make. So
am
yeah,
I.
if you've got any ideas, just send me a message. Go on the website, whatever, or go on our YouTube. Go on the Facebook, and send me a message because yeah.
And I will have a look at doing a drum tuning.
When would Jack be back? It's true. Yeah, when would Jack be back? I don't know, to be honest.
Abby.
Huh?
Ask Abby. Ask Abby.
Oh yeah, Abby sent me a message. Let me have a quick look.
Do not read it out. Do not read it out.
No,
She will never work with us again.
He's probably too occupied with Abby at the moment.
Right. We will see you next week for another installment of the Studio Rats Live. But from myself and from Paul, good night. Take care. Stay safe and all that sort of stuff. And we'll see you again very soon. Good night, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Take care.